Most people have heard of global warming, but not that many people have heard of global dimming. Now, global warming, first of all, is the worldwide increase in the temperature of the Earth. Now, global dimming is related. It's basically the decreased irradiance on the Earth's surface. So irradiance would be the sunlight or the reflection that's hitting the Earth's surface. Now, the two things are related, and you would think because global warming increases the temperature and global dimming, by reducing the sunlight, could potentially cool it, then global dimming could be a potential cure for global warming. But it's a little bit more complicated than that, unfortunately, because there's negative effects to both global warming and global dimming. So, first of all, global dimming is caused by pollution. It's particularly the aerosol particulates that are in the air. And these are caused by human action. So all those aerosol hairsprays and deodorants that became really, really popular in the 60s with the beehive hairdos, and all the way through to the 80s and stuff where even the guys were spraying their hair way up in the air. That kind of stuff was going into the atmosphere and causing pollution, and that increased global dimming. But pollution also causes global warming. So you don't really want to increase pollution, which causes global dimming, in order to try to reduce global warming, because it's also going to increase global warming. So you can't really use one to deal with the other one. They're both a big problem. So what else causes it? Well, there's a theory that aircraft contrails, which are basically the vapor trails, the water vapor trails that go behind every aircraft. So any commercial or the private jet liner that's going through the air is leaving off these vapor trails in the air. And these could potentially be causing global dimming. But it's very difficult to actually figure out how to test this. But then a very interesting possibility came up on September 11th, 2001. What happened on September 11th is that all the airspace over the US was shut off for 3 days. So no planes could go. In 3 days, there were absolutely no aircraft contrails being produced over the US. So this gave the climate scientists an opportunity to measure and find out what effect these contrails were actually having. So what they found was that the contrails were causing an increase in the evening temperatures and a decrease in the daytime temperatures, which is evidence that global dimming is happening, because the contrails are actually preventing the sunlight from hitting the Earth. So why should we be worried about global dimming at all? Well, global dimming causes large-scale changes in all the weather patterns in the world. So all the climate would be changed. It also reduces the rainfall, so it affects the Earth's water cycle. So when you reduce rainfall, you also reduce what's needed for agriculture, so there won't be as much stuff growing. And you're also going to affect the freshwater supplies, so a lot more people are going to have to go without water, which obviously isn't a positive thing. And also, rain has the effect of clearing up pollution. Not many people know that. So it actually clears the air, reduces the pollution, reduces global warming, and reduces global dimming. So you don't want to reduce the rainfall as much as you'd like to sometimes, I guess. So what's the good news? Well, in the past couple of decades, there's actually been a reduction in global dimming. So from about the 1990s, we've actually noticed that there's been a reduction. So there's been global brightening over the world, which is fantastic, right? And guess why this happened? There was actually a reduction in aerosols in the air. And this was caused, starting with the Clean Air Act of 1970 by the US and other associated acts in Europe and other places, and which were tightened up and along the line, basically to reduce all those aerosols in the air. So it's reduced the pollution levels and actually reversed the trend of global dimming. So basically, it's easy to feel really small and insignificant when it comes to climate change. We're very small people, and the world is so big, and it seems like it's really, really hard to actually make a difference. But all of these actions that governments have taken have actually made a real difference to changing some of the things that we've done to harm the Earth. And I think that's a really positive thing to take from that. We really can make a difference.